Welcome everybody to the X Factor podcast on this lovely Tuesday afternoon here, and we're gonna get right into it here with some NFL talk. Sorry I wasn't on the rest of last week. Some stuff when mental stuff got in the way, so try to get back to you with the best podcast in the world right now. Um, so far we're gonna start off with some NFL stuff because there's some NFL stuff I need to talk about. First things first, if you want to see more of my stuff, follow the TikTok X Factor Sports 420, no capital letters. And then the Twitter is X Factor MG 5654, capital M, capital G, and capital X. And then I will be doing my mock draft later on this week. I will be doing it Friday. So, great. So if you're an NFL fan, you want to hear my mock draft, stick around on Friday. But right now we're going to start off with chosen Robbie Anderson has been signed to the Miami Dolphins. So apparently someone did choose to have him. If you look at that Miami Dolphins receiving group, it's really deep now with adding chosen Anderson or Robbie Anderson. I think it'll be great for them, or not really the great, but it's another good hole to fill in for their receiving core that they have right now that's been so deep. That's overall, I think it's a pretty good signing. I don't think he's going to be the main guy, but alright signing by me, or it's alright signing by them. But another thing I want to talk about here is the Eagles have extended Jalen Hurts to a 5-year, $255 million contract with $179.3 million in guarantees. And this is gonna sound weird for a second. I'm not dissing the Eagles for signing him. I think it was great for them. But there's another organization that's gonna have a little bit of a problem now, and it's the Baltimore Ravens. Because, in the NFL, the contracts for every position goes up a lot. And, Cowboys had to deal with this a couple years ago with Dak. Dak was looking for a contract. He's seen how much Jared Goff got signed. Got signed an extension. He's seen how much Jared Goff was getting, and then he wanted that. Now, fast forward to here. Lamar Jackson needs a new contract. But then, boom, Jalen Hurts gets a contract before him, seeing how much money he gets, and then, boom, I think now it's going to change Lamar's negotiating process. His negotiating process probably is getting a right wide receiver, too, which they got Odell Beckham, which I think is way overpaid. And I don't even know if the Ravens were even looking around the $255 million contract extension range. If they were, then they're going to be screwed because Lamar's probably going to want higher than Hurts. And my problem is with this is, it's just the contracts, they want so much. And it's like, if you want to win a Super Bowl, you need to, not get as big as a contract. You have to take some, because after they sign this, he's going to take a couple pay cuts so they can sign some of these guys. So, right now I think it's hurting the Ravens because now Lamar Jackson season, he wants to change. But for the Eagles, it's going to be great. And if Hurts ends up being a Carson Wentz, then that's really going to stink down the future. So, Allen Robinson is heading to the Steelers. Just seeing that. He's been washed for years, so it doesn't really matter. And then Blake Gabbert signs a contract with the Chiefs. But we need to talk about the NBA playoffs. So getting right into it here. Alright, so the NBA playoffs have started. I did not get my predictions in, but I'm just gonna go based off what I had before. I do think the Bucks, even though the Bucks lost, I think the Bucks are going to take the series against Miami, depending on what's going on with Giannis. I think the Cavaliers are taking the Knicks. I think the Bucks will take the Heat in 6. I think they'll take them in 6. Cavs and Knicks. I think the Cavs will take it in 7. Nets and 76ers. I think the 76ers got them in 4. Celtics Hawks. I think I got Boston in 4. Nuggets Timberwolves. Nuggets in 4. Suns versus the Clippers. I got the Suns in 7. Even though we've seen what happened on the other day. Kings and Warriors. I got the Kings in 5. And then I got the Grizzlies over the Lakers in 6. So then you got the Kings and Grizzlies. I got the I'm gonna have to go the Kings. I'm gonna go the Kings here. I'm gonna have them in 7. And then the Suns and Nuggets, I got the Nuggets in 5. Boston and 76ers, I got the 76ers in 7. And then I think I got the Bucks over the Cavs in 4. 5. And 5. So then, let me see here. So, the Bucks will have to face the 76ers. I got the Bucks in 7. And then, shoot. And then, so it'll be the Kings and Nuggets, and I got the Nuggets in 5. And then I believe it'll be I think it'll be Bucks and Nuggets, and I got the Bucks taking them in 7. So there's my NBA playoff predictions. Mavericks obviously didn't make it, so NHL playoffs are going, so I am a Golden Knights fan, so I'm gonna go Golden Knights all the way, obviously. So, or them or the Avalanche. So, but we need to get into some Monday Night Raw talk here. All right, so first off, I'm gonna get into here with Will Ospreay is now medically cleared to wrestle. He is not in WWE; he's in New Japan. But great to hear that. I don't think he's gonna be wrestling for another month or so, trying to get him strength back up in his arm and everything. But there's also been some news following CM Punk and a new show going to AEW called AEW Collision. It's a 2-hour show on Saturdays, and it's pretty much a brand split. I honestly, I don't know how I feel about a Saturday show coming in. I think they should just add another hour to Rampage. But, all I want is to see CM Punk come back, so that's pretty much all I want. But we're going to get right into it here. Some Raw talk. Alright, so the Bloodline started off the whole thing. Solo, Usos, and Paul, they started off the whole thing. And right before Judgment Day came out, Paul said there was history to unfold. So I don't think they got right into it. But Judgment Day came out. Damian Priest, pretty much looked down the whole, Bloodline. Looked at Solo, and Paul and him, shaking hands and everything. But apparently there was a deal between Judgment Day and Bloodline. Bloodline takes care of Rey and them, and then the Judgment Day takes care of Sammy, Kevin, and Riddle. And then deal with Bad Bunny as well. And then the main event, they announced that Judgment Day will face Solo, Kevin, and Riddle, and then Solo faced Rey in the first match of the night. Overall, Rey versus Solo, first match of the night. First off, before I get into that, I loved how they teased the Bloodline and Judgment Day. Because that's honestly something I've been wanting to see for months now. But it's just the wrong time because both of them are heels. But I feel like with Rhea and everything, they can slowly try to change it to babyface, but it's not going to make sense for them as a babyface. So, um, but getting right in here, Solo versus Ray. First match I thought did pretty good. Um, Ray was able to get his stuff in. Solo was able to get his stuff in. Not really much, shitty spots, but it ended up with Solo with the win. So Solo remains only having one loss on the roster when it goes against Cody Rhodes for Mania. I love how they're building Solo. Giving him all these guys to take down. Boom, done. I love to see it. So it's unfortunate for Ray to go down, but Alpha Academy had a little draft segment with Adam Pearce, and it's still Chad Gable and Maxine Dupree fighting over Otis. And well, damn, it's getting, and the more I keep thinking about it, the more I keep thinking that Chad Gable and Otis are gonna get split in the draft. And overall, and I loved Alpha Academy, but I think right now, I think it's the right time to do it. Because Otis with maximum amount of models, it seems it has potential to be something, to be honest with you. And then Chad Gable, he also has the potential to be something really good too. But all these years, he's been doing tag teams with Jason Jordan, Shelton Benjamin, Shorty D, whatever you call him. And now with Alpha Academy, it's just, I think right now is the best time to have him go solo. So, Bianca faced Dakota Kai in another pretty good solid matchup for trying to get some weakness on Bianca before Io faced Bianca for the women's title. Bianca is now 18 days until she beats Becky Lynch's record for the longest Raw women's title reign of all time. I think she's gonna beat it. She's honestly becoming like the John Cena in the women's division. But I think that's great for that. I think that's a great time to have both different titles, so they're not, having her with one title and forgetting about everyone else. So, Bianca did end with the win against Dakota Kai, obviously, but I think it was a pretty good match. A stare down between Io and Bianca later. So, overall, it's going to be fun to see how that plays out. Bad Bunny will return next week also, so great to see that. Bronson Reed had a vignette thing, which I think has been something he's been needing to have. Just because of how I think he can make a big impact on, the main roster. It's just he doesn't get the big crowd reaction that a lot of people expect him to. I think Bronson Reed is one of the best on the on Raw, pretty much, and he has the potential to be one of the best in WWE. So, it's just good to see that. Then another Judgment Day segment after Solo's match with Paul, and Paul asked him what they think, and Finn Balor just went, eh. So that was pretty much it of that. And then Damian Priest pretty much mentioning the whole problem with the Usos and all that. So Cody Rhodes came out after that and pretty much told Adam that he wanted Brock. He wanted the Brock to come out and everything. Brock. And pretty much the guy lost. Adam Pearce told him that he had to leave because he wasn't medically cleared. And Cody Rhodes, oh my God, lost his mind. And then Brock finally comes out. The man looked like Undertaker. Brock came out looking like The Undertaker. No joke. It was... The man looked like he was ready to go for an FBI case, I think. That was interesting stuff right there. But, Adam Pearce made it official. Cody Rhodes versus Brock at Backlash. It's going to be a banger matchup. I think it'll be the main event, so... But then, I think, in my opinion... The best match of the night, Seth versus The Miz. Everyone pretty much on Twitter hated it. But they really put on a fucking amazing match. Well, from Seth Rollins' perspective, I'm not surprised, but for the Miz, like as of the last couple years, he hasn't been putting on major bangers, you know. But then this match, easily the best match on Raw. And I feel like they need to make the Miz. I think they need to rebuild the Miz up a little bit because from like 2016 to like 2018, 2019, Miz was like one of the most best heels, one of the best guys on Raw and SmackDown. He was one of the best guys overall. And after that, it's not been. To me, it just feels like he's been a joke, and that's something I don't like seeing the Miz as. Just another guy to get beat up one week, or another guy that's gonna lose. I feel like they need to make the Miz back up to where he used to be, because right now it's not looking great. But last night really showed that he can still go. So, Riddle, Sammy, and Kevin had a segment, and Riddle had some ideas, and Kevin Owens did not want to see it, and Sammy encouraged it. So, you want to hear it? It's called the Bro Toe. You know how Solo does the Samoan Spike? Well, the Toe Bro. He wraps up his big toe and kicks them in the frickin' Adam's apple, pretty much. It's not a bad idea, but it's dumb to think about. But, and then Riddle pretty much went off on Sammy and Kevin because, pretty much everyone thinking about him as an idiot, which pretty much his gimmick is pretty much him being an idiot. But he had a good point bringing up, Bloodline took everything from him. Randy, they took to his titles. Roman, the whole thing with Roman and everything, and, Solo. So, he has a good point there. So, Theory faced Bronson Reed, or Bobby Lashley, which ended up with Bronson Reed coming out and taking out Bobby, which I think is another great start for their rivalry that they're having. Theory and Bobby, I think great. They had a good match up until that point. And I want to see Bobby and Bronson Reed at Backlash. I don't care if it's a last man standing. I don't care if it's a false count anywhere. I just want to see it. But it's gonna be good. So, Trish faced. Trish had a promo. After what she did to Becky Lynch. And I always thought Charlotte was the best women's wrestler of all time. And then I started, after what I heard from Trish on Monday, I'm rethinking my decision because she had a hell of a promo. And, pretty much saying that she was the workhorse of this whole women's evolution. Like, she's the one who made what women's division is today, which she's not lying. People say it's Lita and Trish, but if you think about it, Lita didn't really have much of a big of impact. She was either Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy's, friend, manager, pretty much. She was either Kane's bitch or Edge's bitch. Yeah, she had those singles runs, but she had someone with her most of the time. Trish, she did this all by herself, And Lita, most of the things we think about her on, we don't think about her with, we don't think about her just by herself, because when she is by herself, you can't really think of any things that's been that good. It's always had to be Matt Hardy, Jeff, Edge, Kane, or Trish. Her and Trish rivalry. So Trish is the one who pretty much made the women's division. She's the one who made it not a joke anymore, which is respect. So. But I thought it was a really great promo, showing her why she's still one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. Her and Charlotte, I'm just saying, it's just like right there, so. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville had a match against Michin and Candice LeRae, which was a quick match. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville ended up winning. Candice LeRae, I think, is starting to have a rivalry with Nikki Cross now, which is great to see that happening. So, not really much to get off that. But in the main event, it was Judgment Day versus Sammy, Kevin, and Riddle. And overall, I thought that match was pretty good. I think it's the second best match of the night behind Seth and Miz. But really great match. Riddle and them ended up with the win. But then after, Raw pretty much ended with Judgment Day, Bloodline, LWO, and Sammy, Kevin, and Riddle all facing each other in the ring. And honestly, me thinking, I'm just waiting for Regal to come out to scream out fucking War Games. So, overall, I think Raw was great. And I feel like we're all starting to forget about the Raw after Mania now because the last couple weeks have been good. It's just something to think about. But sorry to try to fast forward through all this stuff today. I kind of had some internet issues, so I'm kind of trying to do all that now. But tomorrow it's gonna be much more slower. Trying to ooze things out a little bit. So, everyone have a good day. Enjoy life. So, bye.